Hello everyone and welcome to the CollectA Hatzegopteryx review. This is a figure that I just ordered the other day and it came about a week ago. I'm enjoying it quite a lot. I use it to put with my Papo Quetzalcoatlus on my main kind of predator shelf, you could say, sorry. Yeah, it goes side by side with my Papo Quetzalcoatlus, I think, quite nicely. It's a lot taller than the Papo Quetzalcoatlus, but we'll get onto size comparisons later on in the video. So, first of all, let's just take a look at this figure a bit more closely. Let's look at the head sculpt. So, just first of all, the size comparison with my hand. It's not like a huge figure, but you could see that it's fairly tall, and the head especially is quite big. It is more of definitely a very slender figure, I would say. Now, if we look at the head sculpt, you could see that there's quite a indentation in the face here in the fenestra, and the same goes for the other side here, and it's painted in quite a nice blue, but it does look a little strange, I must say. As you can see, there's quite a bit of depth there. But it's probably the only bad thing I would say about this head sculpt, because the rest of it is really nice. I like how there's some faded blue coloration on the lower jaw here. I love this part here, which is kind of looks like jam in a way. This red, nice shiny red here, and then it kind of transitions into a pink color, which also goes up onto the crests as well. And then the crest also has a nice light blue color with a bit of white paint at the top, a bit of white lining there. The beak is a very long, very dark, kind of a light brown color, I would say, dark beige. And then the inside of the mouth isn't too detailed at all, really. It's just like a nice matted pinkish color. The same goes for the tongue as well. Under there, as you could see. Now, the neck of this figure, I did do a little bit of research on this. Now, I do know that the neck of the figure is a little inaccurate and out of date. I think this came out like a year or so before the it was published that Hatzegopteryx had a little bit of a shorter neck, not necessarily thinner or thicker, but a shorter neck. And its neck definitely wasn't as long as it is shown on this figure here. But the neck does show some nice counter shading here with the white and then the beige, which is the same beige as the beak. You can see that along the neck we have some kind of quill slash feather slash proto feather detail. I'm not really sure what to call it, to be honest with you, but you can see there's some nice detail going down the neck there, and the same goes for the rest of the body as well. As you can see, there's lots of that quill detail along the main body, but the wing, as you can see, is quite smooth, but it does have some creases, of course, because you've got the membranes, but the main body is definitely where the quill detail is at, and also the arms and the legs, of course. You could see some of that quill detail. And then we've got quite a long tail, actually. That's another thing I did in terms of research. I think that Hatzegopteryx's tail definitely wasn't as prominent as it is in this figure. It's probably very stubby, and in terms of the paint that goes down to the tail, you can see that we've got, like, along the spinal ridge, we've got like a slightly darker shade of brown going down the spinal ridge there. And the same goes, I think, for the wings here. So it goes from the hands all the way up to the tips of the wings here, that darkish coloration that fades into that lighter beige colour. One other thing I forgot to mention actually is the fact that this counter shading here on the bottom of the body is reflected on the inside of the wings as well. You got that nice, well, it's not nice, but a distracting CollectA logo there on the on the inside of the wing. And one thing I'm not sure I like too much, because it's not really symmetrical, is this white paint here and then there's none here. It just doesn't look quite right. But, you know, it's not something that I noticed actually before the review, so it's not too much of a problem for me. There's not too much to say about this figure other than what I've already said, to be honest. It's a nice figure that you can just put up for a display. It's quite cheap from everything dinosaur. It is £5.89, and let's just get the measuring tape out so we can see that it's just about 14 centimeters tall at the top of the crest there. It does say on everything dinosaur that it is about 18 centimeters, so I'm not really sure why they got that wrong, or if I'm just reading the tape measure wrong. Well, we'll see, won't we, if anyone corrects me, but yes, we'll see. So that is the CollectA Hatzegopteryx, £5.89 from everything dinosaurs. Definitely a nice little figure to add to the collection if you haven't got a Hatzegopteryx. There aren't many, I don't think, Hatzegopteryx figures out there. So this is definitely one to add to the collection if you're looking for those larger pterosaurs. And now just for some size comparisons, here's one of the CollectA's other figures, which is their Microraptor. So for a Microraptor, this is actually quite a large figure, but as you can see with the Hatzegopteryx, it's definitely sizable. So the Quetzal, keep calling it a Quetzal. The Hatzegopteryx is definitely taller, but in terms of its thickness and the amount of space it takes up, it's definitely smaller. Let's take away the CollectA Microraptor and let's swap in for the one and only Papo Quetzalcoatlus. So, Quetzalcoatlus is clearly a bigger model, as we can see here. It definitely covers more surface area, definitely the bigger model. It doesn't scale too well, I would say, because I think, I'm not entirely sure, I'll have to look it up at some point, but I think that Hatzegopteryx is slightly bigger than Quetzalcoatlus, so definitely this is not the best scaling, but I like to pretend it's maybe like a juvenile Hatzegopteryx or something, and I just put it with the Papo Quetzalcoatlus on my main shelf. So yeah, that is the CollectA Hatzegopteryx. I'm very happy with it for what it is. It's not the greatest model out there, but if you're looking for a cheap and just decent figure to put on a shelf, this is definitely the one you're looking for, in terms of like those larger pterosaurs that are like as tall as a giraffe almost. So yeah, that is the CollectA Hatzegopteryx. Give a like to this video and subscribe if you liked the video and appreciated it. And I will see you guys in the next one. I'm excited to share also that I have heard progress from my contacts that my large Utahraptor model, which has been custom made, has left the structuring phases now, and they're now going into the sculpting, which is really exciting. I can't wait to review that in about a month's time. It will take a while, but I'm only mentioning it in this video because I am super excited for it, as Utahraptor is my favorite dinosaur. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you very much for watching.